Baltazar Disco. Hey Axel, how you doing? What's your favorite movie with Dolph Lundgren, except Rocky 4? Well, I haven't seen a ton of Dolph Lundgren movies. I've seen He-Man. I vaguely remember Punisher. I saw several of his other direct-to-DVD movies. I wouldn't say I'm a big fan of Dolph Lundgren, but I'm going to go ahead and say my favorite movie with him is The Expendables. I was very surprised at him in that movie, and he stole the show a lot of times. I can't wait for the second one. I hope he gets more of a part, because as far as acting goes in the first movie, he did one of the best jobs, I thought. So I'm going to say The Expendables. Who is your favorite opponent in the Rocky movies? Hands down is Clubber Lang. He is such a good villain. I loved Mr. T's portrayal. God, he was such an ass. There was nothing you would like about the guy. He did an excellent job, so that would be my favorite opponent in the Rocky movies. Are you excited about The Expendables 2? I am extremely excited about The Expendables 2. I think it's going to do awesome. This just came out, I don't know if anyone knows this, but Sly has come out and said, and this disappoints me, the movie is going to be PG-13. I'm sure it's just to be able to make more money that more people can go into the theater, but I really wanted an R rating. The first one was rated R. I'm going to still go see the movie. This movie's still going to be good. I mean, maybe it won't even matter. But just at this moment, hearing it's going to be PG-13 instead of R, I don't like that. But I'm still way excited, and I guarantee you, regardless of the rating, it's going to be an awesome movie. The Hunter X619 comes back with another question. Hey, John. Okay, do you think it was worth taking the Rocky training figure out of its box to display it on my shelf in front of a Greek building that looks exactly like the art museum, raising its arms to represent the training scene? It's totally personal. I kept my figures in the box because, I guess, one, obviously, if I would ever sell them, which probably I wouldn't, they're going to be worth more. But being an older person, I would never have any inkling to play with them, so that's why I kept them in the box. I think they display nice on the wall. But you just said you had like a set of stairs and you posed the figure. I mean, that sounds awesome. So do I think it was worth taking the figure out of the box? Sure, why not? If you wanted to do it, it's your opinion and your prerogative. Horror Fan 34, what's up, Thomas? Let's get to your questions. What was your favorite part of Judgment Night? One of these two parts. Either the scene in the cargo holds of the train when like the homeless guys were in there, and I know Bob already mentioned this, my cousin, and they were like, you guys be quiet, they're coming after us, and the homeless men are like, oh, what do you got? And like they're trying to give their stuff away. That was intense. And I also the other part I would say was my favorite part is when Jeremy Piven's character dies. That part was intense too, when they're climbing across there on the ladder. So those would be two parts that I really liked. Have you ever seen the TV action thriller Survive the Night with Stephanie Powers, Kathleen Robertson, Helen Shaver, and Curry Graham? If not, you should see it. I haven't seen it. Sorry. But yeah, if I ever see it on, I will definitely watch it. Have you ever seen the film Trespass with Bill Paxton, Ice-T, William Sadler, and Ice Cube? I haven't, but I know you said a lot of great things about that movie. If I can, my local video store, I'm going to see if they have it for rent. If they do, I'll definitely check it out. Name your top 5 Stallone films. Okay, well, I'm going to say, I'm going to put the Rocky saga and the Rambo saga, count them as one movie. So, my top 5, number 1 would be the Rocky saga, number 2 would be the Rambo saga. My third favorite Stallone movie is hands down Cliffhanger. I love that film. If you haven't seen Cliffhanger, check it out. It is a great action movie. John Lithgow plays the villain. Cliffhanger, I love that movie. And my fourth favorite would be Copland, and I've already talked about it, but if you haven't seen Copland, check that one out. My fifth favorite Stallone movie, I had a hard time choosing between either Demolition Man or Lock Up. I know Lock Up doesn't really get talked about much, but I really like that movie. But I'd probably go with Demolition Man for my fifth favorite. That's a great 90s action movie, so check that one out. Thanks, Thomas. 101 AVP Fanify. Here's your question. What age did you start to get into the Rocky series? Well, I'll say I was 4 or 5 when I first saw Rocky 3 on the beta, and I specifically remember my cousin had the Rocky 3 soundtrack on record, and we would put socks on our hands and pretend we were boxing each other listening to Eye of the Tiger. So, yeah, back then. And I saw Rocky 4 in the theater. I remember seeing it. And I saw Rocky 5 in the theater, and I remember seeing it. So, I was a fan. I wasn't a crazy fan like I am now. But, yeah, I was 4 or 5. Super R, 1991. Hey, Ricky. What did you think about Stallone's movie Driven? I say it was pretty good since I'm a racing fan. Driven, it's an okay movie. When I first saw Driven, I really liked it, and again, I brought this up before, like, you really need to see a movie multiple times before you can make a really good judgment on a movie, and I did like the movie Driven. The more and more I watch it, the more I think it's just an okay movie. Rennie Harlin directed it, who directed Cliffhanger. He did such a good job with Cliffhanger, but I thought he did a terrible job with Driven. It just seemed like kind of all over the place. I think if Sly had directed that movie, I think it would have turned out a lot better, but I just think Driven's okay. Wesley JC80, hey Wes, got some questions for me. Let's get to them. How did you feel about Sylvester Stallone being inducted into the Boxing Hall of Fame? I thought it was an excellent, fantastic idea, and let me tell you why. There are so many boxers out there that got into boxing because of Rocky. And they've talked about Sylvester Stallone all the time. I mean, then there was the TV series The Contender, which was about boxers, and Sly produced it, and like people were like, oh man, yeah, like I totally wanted to be a boxer after Rocky. So, hell yeah, he definitely deserved to be inducted into the Boxing Hall of Fame, for sure. What would be your top 3 favorite 80s cartoons? This one's easy, Wes. Definitely Transformers would be number 1. Number 2 and 3, I don't know which one I would say more, but G.I. Joe and He-Man. I loved those shows. I had a ton of toys for those 3 shows, and they were all great. Loved those 80s cartoons. So Transformers, He-Man, and G.I. Joe. Did you like the Nightmare on Elm Street TV series as well as the Friday the 13th TV series? I can vaguely remember seeing those on TV. I don't remember hardly anything about them, but I'm going to go ahead and say the Nightmare on Elm Street was a little bit better because Robert Englund would introduce the episodes, if I recall correctly, so at least he had something to do with it. Okay, Mudblood Wizard has some questions. Are you into Harry Potter? Am I into Harry Potter? I would say not really. I've made a point to watch the movies, and I do like the movies. I've only seen the first 6. I've not seen Deathly Hallows Part 1 or 2, although I hear they are fantastic. And I definitely want to see them. It was actually last year. I saw the first movie when it came out, and the second movie when it came out on DVD. And the third movie, I went to the theater and saw it. I actually watched 4, 5, and 6 for the first time last year. So I'm getting kind of into it, but I'm not a huge fan. I mean, after I watched Part 7 and Part 7, 1, and 2, I probably won't watch them again. Do you like Japanese animation? If so, what are your favorites? I have nothing against Japanese animation, but I don't really watch any, so I don't have an answer for you. Favorite comic book superhero? Batman, for sure. I have a ton of Batman comics that I used to collect when I was younger. My second favorite superhero is The Flash. I have a ton of Flash comics too. Those are my 2 favorite, but Batman would be number 1. Favorite director? Steven Spielberg. He's made so many great movies, and even though lately I've not really been a fan of his movies in the 80s and 90s were like unforgettable movies. So Steven Spielberg, all-time favorite director.